Hello everyone, welcome back to the next class. We are continuing the next part of the human reproduction. In this class, we are going to discuss regarding the topic called as a structure of a human sperm. Regarding the structure of the human sperm, already we came across in the previous classes as sperms are produced in the male gonads called as testis, exactly in the part of seminiferous tubule. After production of the sperms has to be released through the accessory ducts, and through the ducts the sperm is inseminated into the female reproductive system for the process of fertilization to carry out the pregnancy. So in this class we are looking at the structure of the human sperm. Now when we come to the structure of the human sperm, let's go to the diagrammatic representation and let's see the parts of the sperm. Now human sperm, we call it as a male gamete, which is called as a sperm, or it is also called as a male sex cell. Then what does the sperm consist of? The sperm consists of the head first, this is the first part of the sperm. Now in this head, it consists of a structure called as the acrosome, which is present at its tips. This is a acrosome, and we can identify as it is present at the tip of the sperm. Then below this, it consists of certain layers also. And above that, okay, now if we look at this structure, this is the middle part. This is the last part of the sperm, where we also call it as the tail. So this is the tail part. Then here we have in the neck region, we have two centrioles. From this centriole arises a filament called as a axial filament. Now at the middle of the sperm, it has a mitochondria, and here we can easily make out the mitochondria. So look at the mitochondria. Mitochondria is present at the middle piece. So this is the mitochondria here, where we can see it in the middle part. Okay. Now this is the sperm head, then the neck part, then the middle piece, Okay. Now head part, middle piece. This is also called as a end piece or tail. Now what does the head consist of? So the sperm consists of a membrane. This membrane is called as a plasma membrane. This is called as a plasma membrane. Then the tip of the sperm consists of a acrosome. This is acrosome. Below the acrosome, this part, as we see here, the largest part, this is called as a nucleus of the sperm. This is the nucleus of the sperm. Then here we have a centriole. This centriole is called as a proximal centriole. Proximal centriole. Below the proximal centriole, we have one more part which is called as a distal centriole. This is a distal centriole. Then a thin thread-like structure that we see here, this is called as a axoneme. This is axoneme or axonema. And this is mitochondria. This is a mitochondria that provides energy for swimming. So here it provides energy for swimming of the sperms. And the last part, here we call it as a tail. And in its division, the sperm is divided into, this first part is called as the head, then a short neck, and this one, the middle piece, and the last one, it is called as a end piece. Now look at the sperm. Sperm is divided into 4 parts. First part is the head. Second, the smallest part or the short part is called as neck. Third part is middle piece. And the last part is called as a end piece. Now if we look at the length of the sperm also varies. It is around 60 micrometer in its length. Suppose if the length of the sperm is 60 micrometer, then the length of the tail is 50 micrometer out of it. That means the longest part in the human sperm is the tail. The longest part in the human sperm is the tail part. Okay, then regarding its functions also, we'll see it later. Now, if we come across the other structures, now here we have the plasma membrane, then below that acrosome, nucleus, neck region, 2 centrioles. This is the middle piece that consists of mitochondria, and finally the end piece which is called as the tail. Then what does these parts consist of? Okay, now if we look at the first part is the head region. Head is made up of what? Head is made up of 2 parts. Now head is surrounded by a membrane which is called as a plasma membrane. Plasma membrane is present in the head part also, in the middle part also, even in the tail part also. So it covers the entire length of the sperm. Then first part, let us see the first part which is called as a acrosome. So head part consists of acrosome. Then what does the acrosome consist of? Acrosome is present at the tip of the sperm. Acrosome is present at the tip of the sperm. This acrosome consists of certain lytic enzymes. We call it as a sperm lysins. We also call them as a sperm lysins. As it contains lytic enzymes, then what are these lytic enzymes? It includes the lytic enzymes like acrosin, hyaluronidase. So these are the lytic enzymes which are present at the tip of the sperm, especially in the acrosome. Now this acrosome is mainly made up of Golgi bodies. So acrosome, it is made up of Golgi bodies, or we also call it as a Golgi complexes. Acrosome is formed from the Golgi complexes. Acrosome is present at the tip of the sperm, and acrosome consists of lytic enzymes called as sperm lysins, that are acrosin, hyaluronidase. Other enzymes are also there called as neuraminidase also. So acrosome, what is the major function of the acrosome? As acrosome is present at the tip of the sperm, the function of the acrosome is it helps in dissolving the layers of the ovum, as the ovum consists of different layers. Suppose if the ovum is there, this ovum consists of theca externa, theca interna, and here we have the nucleus. When the sperm comes and attaches on the ovum, the sperm has to penetrate so that the nucleus of the sperm should fuse with the egg cell for the process of fertilization. Then what this acrosome will do, when it comes in contact with the ovum or the egg, it dissolves the membrane of the ovum and it penetrates into the ovum, and the nucleus will get fused with the ovum nucleus, and hence the process is termed as a fertilization. After fertilization only it becomes zygote, zygote develops into embryo, embryo develops into fetus, and finally the fetus, fully developed fetus, which is called as baby, takes birth. This is the developmental process. So the importance of the acrosome is it is responsible for lysis of the egg membrane so that the sperm can penetrate into the ovum for the process of fertilization. So this is regarding the part of the acrosome. Then in the head part, as we come across the acrosome, this acrosome as outer part is covered by the plasma membrane. Now this acrosome also consists of certain structure, certain capsule also, and that capsule is called as a gallia capitis. Now this layer we call it as a gallia capitis. Now apart from the plasma membrane, there is also a protective layer which is called as a gallia capitis present on the acrosome. Almost around the 3/4 part it is covered by gallia capitis, a layer. Then this is regarding the part of the acrosome. Then let's go to the second part. Second part is a nucleus. Now nucleus is present in the head part of the sperm. Nucleus is present in the head part of the sperm. This nucleus consists of haploid number of paternal chromosomes, haploid number of father chromosomes. That means nucleus is a structure that contains haploid set of chromosomes. This haploid set we also call it as N number. N number of chromosomes, or 23 father chromosomes are present in the nucleus. So this is regarding the part of the nucleus. So nucleus, it has chromosome which is present in the form of its condensed form. So this is regarding the part of the head. Then let's go to the next part. In the head, after a layer called as a gallia capitis, one more layer develops. The other layer also develops here, and that layer, it arises from half part of the nucleus. Then it also extends to the length of the middle piece also. Again, it is a protective layer, and this layer is called as a manchete. Or this is also called as a manchet. So manchet is a layer that arises from half part of the nucleus. It also extends in the middle piece also, and this is termed as a manchet. Okay. So this is an additional term where we are using it, as it is also a protective layer. Now we come across one more term which is called as Nebenкern. So that part we'll discuss it. So this is regarding the first part where we call it as the head part. So head part is made up of how many parts? Two parts. Then what are those parts? First one, the tip of the sperm consists of acrosome, and the second part is the nucleus. Acrosome contains sperm lysins and the nucleus contains haploid number of parental chromosomes. Then let's go to the second part. The second part is the neck region. What is neck made up of? Neck is made up of two centrioles. The first one is a proximal centriole. First one, proximal centriole. What is the function of proximal centriole? When the sperm penetrates into the ovum, when it gets fertilized, after fertilization, zygote is formed. When the zygote is formed, zygote should undergo mitotic division, where we call it as cleavage. This proximal centriole helps in the first cleavage process. Proximal centriole helps in cleavage or cell division of the fertilized egg, which is called as a zygote. So this is the function of proximal centriole. It is present in the neck region. Neck is the shortest part of the sperm. Then second one is a distal centriole. Second part is called as a distal centriole. The distal centriole is present below the proximal centriole, from which a thin thread-like structure arises, and this thread-like structure is called as a axoneme. So distal centriole, from this arises a structure called as a axoneme or axonema. Now this axonema, if we take its transverse section, it is arranged in the form of 9 plus 2 array. Array means arrangement. So there are 9 plus 2 tubules. So what is this 9 plus 2 tubules? If we take the transverse section of the axoneme, so it appears in this way. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 tubules. At the center we have 2 tubules. So 9 plus 2 arrangement is of axoneme. This already we have studied in the previous year in the cell chapter. So structure of a cilia and flagellum, in that already we have seen. So this is regarding the part of the axoneme. This axoneme arises from the distal centriole and it extends from the middle piece to the tail piece. So this is regarding the function of the proximal centriole as well as the distal centriole in the neck part of the sperm. Then we'll move on to the next part. The third part of the sperm is a middle piece. The third one is a middle piece. Now look at the middle piece. What does the middle piece consist of? Middle piece consists of an axoneme. Along with that, it has many numerous structures called as a mitochondria. So it has a mitochondria. We know mitochondria are called as a powerhouse of the cell. Then why we call them as powerhouse of the cell? Because they provide energy. For what purpose? Mitochondria is structure that is present abundantly in the middle piece of the sperm that provides energy for sperm swimming. Because when the sperms are released into the female reproductive system in the vagina, they have to travel from the vagina to the fallopian tube for the process of fertilization. And remember, fertilization occurs in the fallopian tube of a female reproductive system. To swim, it should get the energy, and that energy is provided by mitochondria. So these are the mitochondria. These mitochondria are arranged like a spiral or spring like in manner, or like a double helix. and this mitochondria provides energy. Now, this mitochondria will also give arise. It also gives rise to a structure which is called as a Nebenkern. It also gives rise to a structure called as a Nebenkern. Now, and hence this mitochondria give rise to a Nebenkern, and this type of Nebenkern is observed in the sperm of some insects like a Drosophila. Now, look at the next part. So this is regarding the part of the middle piece. Middle piece has mitochondria. It provides energy for sperm swimming or for the movement of the sperms. So energy, someone has to provide energy, and that energy is provided by mitochondria present in the middle piece. So with this, let's move on to the next part. The next part is called as the tail. So last one is the tail. Now tail is the last part and it is the longest part of the sperm. So tail is longest part of a sperm. Its length is more than rest of the part. As we discussed, suppose if the length of the sperm measures around 60 micrometer in its length, as it is a microscopic structure, out of that 50 micrometer is of tail region only, and hence the tail is the longest part of the sperm. Now, this tail, what is its function? The function of the tail is it brings about motility, as it is vibratile. It moves, it beats, it moves, it is vibratile in nature. It helps in motility of the sperms. So it helps in the motility of the sperm. It helps in the motility of the sperm. So this is regarding the function of the tail. Now, from the base of the tail or at the end of the middle piece, here we have certain structure. This structure is called as a ring annuli. Ring annulus. Now here we have certain structure which is called as a ring annulus. Now from this ring annulus, or which is also called as a ring centriole, annulus, or it is also called as a ring centriole. From this, the exonium also continues towards the tail part. This is also an additional term. So a ring centriole has this annulus, annulus meaning circle, ring like. So if we look at its structure, it is arranged in a form of a ring. That's what is called as an annulus, or it is also called as a ring centriole. So from which the exonium also passes through it. Okay. So this is regarding the part of the human sperm. Now, in the human sperm, now let us see at what speed the sperm travels in the female reproductive system. Now, if we look at its speed, the sperm travels at the speed of 1.5 millimeter per minute. The sperm in the female reproductive system, it travels at the speed of 1.5 millimeter per minute. Then what is the time taken to reach the fallopian tube? It is around 30 minutes. So sperm takes 30 minutes to reach the fallopian tube from vagina. Now look at the time taken. As the sperms are inseminated or released in the vagina during coitus or sexual act, the time taken to reach the sperms up to fallopian tube, it is around 30 minutes. Okay, so this is the time taken. Now this is regarding the part of the speed of the sperm. And remember, the sperm will travel because the sperm is motile, and motility is brought by the tail. Egg is non-motile structure, sperm is motile structure. It is the sperm which has to travel in the female reproductive system and gets fertilized with the ovum. So the sperm is motile structure, egg is a non-motile structure. Egg will move with the help of a certain finger-like projections or cilia. Through the ciliary movement from the ovary, it moves towards the fallopian tube, and it is the sperm which has to move towards the fallopian tube to fertilize the ovum. So that's why the sperm has to reach the fallopian tube for the process of fertilization. Now, how many sperms are released during ejaculation? So during ejaculation, around 200 to 300 million sperms are released. So 200 to 300 million sperms are released during ejaculation. Ejaculation is nothing but it is the release of the sperm from the male genitalia into the female reproductive system. So 200 to 300 million sperms are released into the female reproductive system. Then the most important point of this is out of the released sperms, around 60% of the sperms should have their normal size and shape. So 60% of the sperms should have normal size and shape. 60% of the sperm should be normal out of the ejaculated sperms. Then out of these, nearly 40% of the sperms, 40% of the sperms should show or should have vigorous motility. Vigorous motility. Look at this. 60% of the sperms should have normal size and shape. 40% of the sperms, out of these, 40% of the sperms should have vigorous motility, fast motility. They should show this. Suppose if these conditions are absent in the released sperm, then it becomes the reason for male infertility. This is the reason for male infertility, where the male cannot fertilize the egg and the female cannot be pregnant. And hence, this is the major condition of the sperms. When the sperms are released, 60% of the sperms should have normal size and shape, because some of the sperms which are produced may be abnormal. Abnormal condition means it may have two heads, one tail. It may have one head, two tail. This is what is called as the abnormal condition of the sperm. So that's why the sperm should be normal. So it should possess these two conditions. When it possesses these two conditions, then only we say that the sperms are normal and the male is fertile. So this is regarding the part of structure of the human sperm. Okay, now what parts we have came in the structure of the human sperm. So let us have a glance over the human sperm. Human sperm is made up of four parts. First part is head, second part is neck, third part is middle piece, last part is end piece. Now head consists of what? Head consists of an acrosome which is present at the tip, that consists of hydrolytic enzymes, and acrosome is made up of Golgi bodies. And second part is a nucleus. Nucleus consists of a haploid number of parental chromosomes. That means paternal chromosomes, where we also call it as father chromosomes. So 23 chromosomes are present in the nucleus. Neck consists of two centrioles, anteriorly proximal centriole, posteriorly distal centriole. Proximal centriole helps in cell division after fertilization. That means it also helps in the first cleavage process. Distal centriole, from the distal centriole arises an axonium which runs from the middle piece to the end piece. Middle piece consists of numerous mitochondria which is spirally arranged, and this mitochondria provides energy for the motility of the sperms, and it also helps in movement of the sperms as it provides energy, as it stores energy. Then the last part is the tail. Tail brings about motility in the sperms. Tail is the longest part of the sperm. So this is regarding the structure as well as function of the sperms and its basic characteristics. So with this, we'll end up this class, and in the next class we'll start with the next structure, which is regarding the structure of the ovum. So stay until that.